Hey, today we're diving into a question that comes up constantly when I'm talking to STR owners. I know I need help with my Airbnb, but I don't even know where to start or what kind of help I really need. I totally get it. You might feel like you're stuck somewhere between burnout and I've got this, but not quite either one. In this video, I'm going to break down 3 levels of help STR owners typically choose. Doing it all yourself and what that really costs, getting part-time help, the co-host route, handing it off to a full-service manager like me, and I'll walk you through how to figure out which level of support is right for you based on your time, income goals, and how much stress you want to deal with or not deal with. So let's dive into it. Number 1, the do-it-yourself host. I can do it all until I can't. So let's start with the DIY route. This is how almost every host starts. You're scrappy, you're learning the platform, you're figuring it all out yourself, messaging guests at midnight, cleaning toilets between checkouts, Googling how to sync your phone to the season. There's nothing wrong with this at the beginning. It's the best way to learn. You know every inch of your property, you know how your guests respond, you have control. But here's the catch. DIY only works if you have unlimited time and zero stress tolerance. And most of us don't. You start missing guest messages because you're at work, your cleaner cancels last minute and you're scrambling. You forget to raise your pricing for an event weekend and leave hundreds on the table. And the worst part, you don't even know what you're missing until the reviews start sliding or bookings start slowing down. One of my clients had a super cute condo in Chandler. She managed it all herself for a year. But when she came to me, she was exhausted. Her reviews were slipping because the turnover wasn't consistent and she hadn't raised her rates in 6 months. She said, I feel like I bought myself a second job, not an investment. That's the tipping point. When the property starts running you instead of the other way around, it's time to level up. So let's talk number 2, partial help. Let me just offload the annoying stuff. This next one is the co-host or part-time help model. This is where you stay in control, but you bring in support to keep things running day to day. That might look like a virtual assistant managing guest messages, your cleaner also stocking the unit and sending you photos, a friend or contractor checking on the property, or a co-host helping with turnover, messaging, reviews, and calendar optimization. This can work well if you already have good systems in place and just need someone to carry out the task. But, and this is a big one, it still requires you to manage the manager. You're still the one coordinating communication, answering late night guest questions if the co-host doesn't respond fast enough, and trying to figure out why pricing didn't adjust during peak demand. I had a client who thought she had it all covered with the co-host she found on Facebook. Turns out the co-host wasn't checking the calendar daily, so she missed a double booking. Not only did the guest leave a 1-star review, the owner lost $800 in revenue that weekend. So partial help is great if it's the right help, but a lot of people call themselves co-hosts when they're really just in it for easy money without any accountability or systems. Number 3 is the full service management. I want peace of mind and profit. Now let's talk about this service. This is where you say, I just want this thing to run like a business. I don't want to be the one dealing with it every single day. And that's where I come in. At Sun to Summit, I offer full service short-term rental management for rentals 30 days or less, which keeps everything compliant under Arizona's real estate laws. We're not just helping with guest messages, we are running the entire show. Onboarding your property, consulting on design and experience, creating custom digital guidebooks, pricing optimization with dynamic tools, cleaner and vendor coordination, guest communication, supply restocking, performance tracking, monthly reports. You get your time back. You get your weekends back. You don't have to think about it unless you really want to. A couple I work with owns a home up in Prescott and tried to manage it themselves for 2 years. They were always dealing with guest issues, late night lockouts, cleaners ghosting, supplies running out, all of it. After we onboarded, within 3 months, their revenue jumped by 28%, and they literally said, "This is the first time we've actually enjoyed owning this house." That's what full service is supposed to do: increase profit and lower your stress. How do you figure out what's right for you? Well, ask yourself, do you want to be involved in the daily operations, or am I ready to hand it off? Do I enjoy guest communications or dread those late night messages? Do I have systems in place, or am I constantly reacting to problems? Is my STR a side hustle or part of a bigger investment plan? And the big one, is my Airbnb making me money or just making me tired? You don't need to jump from DIY to full service overnight. Sometimes we start with a hybrid approach, but if your STR is taking more than it's giving, you're not building freedom. You are building frustration. So let's jump into what working with me actually looks like for you. If we're fit, I start with a deep dive onboarding. We evaluate your listing, photos, and pricing. I connect with your existing vendors or bring in mine. We set up automation, systems, and reportings. I get your calendar cleaned up and optimized. Then, week after week, I handle the behind the scenes so you can breathe easy. And if you're wondering if this is affordable, it's probably less than what you're losing by underpricing, mismanaging, or trying to do it all alone. I work with out-of-state owners, local families, investors scaling portfolios, anyone who wants this investment to be profitable and peaceful. So what kind of help do you really need? If this helped you figure that out, make sure you subscribe and drop a comment telling me where you're at: DIY, partial help, or ready to go full service. And if you feel like you're at a breaking point with your Airbnb or just ready to finally treat it like a real business, reach out. I'd love to talk to you about how we can get your listing running smoother, smarter, and way more profitably. You can find me at stacie@suntosummit.org or message me on Instagram at stacie_sells_az. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.